Hello and welcome. My name is Scott Suskovic. I'm pastor at Christ Lutheran Church, and welcome to this podcast that we call Deeper Dive, in which we take a look at the previous Sunday's sermon and go at a deeper level for a great conversation. We're glad you're here. Hey there, next episode of Deeper Dive as we look at the sermon from yesterday, Sunday, and go to a depth that we can't cover on that worship service. But here in this podcast, Pastor Scott.
Hey, I'm Pastor Ryan.
And let me just kind of give a review so people can kind of wrap their minds around what the parable was. It's called the parable of the shrewd manager.
Shrewd. That's not a word we use too often.
Shrewd, no. So the premise is that the owner of the business finds out that his manager is mismanaging the accounts.
Yeah, we're not told if he's a thief or he's just bad at his job. He's just mismanaging.
And the owner says, "You're done."
Out.
And he realizes that he's not strong enough to dig ditches. He's too proud to beg, and so he works the system. He does his networking.
Yeah.
And almost like in a continual way of mismanagement, he tells the first vendor, "How much do you owe my boss?" It was like 900 gallons of olive oil.
Vats was the word. I think
Vats
was the
that seems like a lot.
Seems like more than a lot.
So the guy says, "Rip it up and just put down 450."
Yikes. Golly, that's a fortune right there.
Right. So the second guy, "How much do you owe my boss?" And he said, "I owe him 1,000 bales of wheat."
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot.
It seems like more than a lot.
He says, "Tear it up and write down 800.
Yeah.
So here's probably what he's doing when he's talking to these vendors. He says, "Okay, knock it off, knock it down, and let's have lunch next week because I'm looking for a new opportunity, a little quid pro quo. I'll give you this. I'll scratch your back. I want you to scratch mine as well." And that's the way the world works.
I always wondered about that, though, because if you lowered my bill, right, why am I going to hire you? You just showed
You're a cheat.
me. Yeah. I don't want you on my team. You're the worst.
Yeah. Boy, if any of you've traveled anywhere in the Middle East, it's all about bartering and helping out one another. I think it's that bartering system here. But you're right. But here's the irony of the parable. The boss, when he finds out what this mismanaging guy did, he says, "Wow, well played."
Yeah.
Wow, man, even though you're going to be fired and kicked out on your ear, you're going to land on your feet. Wow, that was shrewd.
Yeah, he compliments him.
And I suppose the disciples and those of us reading it today were thinking, what? Jesus is complimenting this shrewd manager for screwing his boss out of a lot of money and being self-serving by cheating people. I mean, everybody is probably slimy in this parable.
I like how you said that, yeah.
Yeah,
on all the sides.
The vendors know it's wrong.
Yeah, they do it anyway.
But when we're talking about 900 gallons or vats of olive oil, 1,000 bales of wheat, you got to think that this owner of this business is like Guido. He's a little bit of a loan shark,
Yeah.
The interest, I'll give you a loan. The interest is 25% accumulated every day.
Yeah. But I think you're onto something here, right? Which is that how do you deal in sizes that big? I don't know that those are that big, but it seems to me that if you're dealing with thousands of vats of olive oil on the ready, and then you can just take the hit and kind of, smile about it, it says to me that maybe to your point, you're not the up and up.
You're right.
You are definitely doing something such that this ill-gotten gain was taken from you, and you're just recognizing game, right? Because you're a player as well.
He's got game. But here's the point of the parable. Jesus says, the sons of this world, that is worldly people,
Yeah.
they know how to play the game. They know how to get ahead. They know what they have to do to be shrewd enough to come out on top. Now,
Yeah.
children of the light, do the same. And we're thinking, what? You want us to cheat other people so we can come out on top? No.
Yeah, that would be the wrong superficial understanding.
Right.
So let's go deeper.
Well, let's go deeper, because when Jesus said that, I think we're all looking back and saying, yeah, there are certain people that just know how to work the system. You know, I don't know if I've ever met a hedge fund manager who is on food stamps.
No, I haven't either.
They know how to make money.
That's right, they do, and they're connected to people who have money, and all of them aren't on food stamps. Not a one.
Or I think about very wealthy people.
Yeah.
The percentage that they are paying in taxes is probably less than the percentage you and I are paying.
Yeah.
Not that they're stealing money. They are making use of every available loophole in the tax code.
I love how you said there isn't a loophole. How did you say
tax
it?
accountant doesn't love.
Doesn't love. So well done. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. So be shrewd for the kingdom.
Yes.
All right. Does that mean I don't even know where we're going to go with this? So here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got a Guido in the congregation.
Loan shark.
Okay, he's in the congregation. He says, "Oh, I love this Pastor Scott guy."
What do you need?
Right. And he comes to you and he says, "I'm going to give you whatever you want."
Yeah.
Okay, and he says, "You just tell me what you want, and I'll write the check." And you know where he's getting the money.
Ooh.
All right, Pastor Scott.
You know, my alma mater, St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota, received its largest gift decades ago. It was like $52 million.
Holy, all right.
That's a nice gift, isn't it?
Something special.
And it was advertised, and wow, we got this gift. And then somebody looked into the giver.
Oh.
And he was in waste management.
Are there air quotes on that? Waste management?
management. Notorious for ill-gotten gains.
Oh, yeah.
And St. Olaf gave it back.
No, they did not. Wow.
I thought that was pretty impressive.
That is really impressive.
So if somebody in the congregation, I don't know of a one that got it with ill-gotten gains, said, hey, we're going to, you want that addition onto the building? Here's a check for it. You know, the pragmatic side of me says, hey, it's for the kingdom.
It's for the kingdom. You meant it for ill, but the Lord's going to use it for good.
See? But ultimately, how does that tarnish the ministry here? You know, I have had people in the past, when we were doing our largest capital campaign, they wanted some recognition.
Naturally, okay.
They wanted a plaque on the wall.
Yeah.
And we made a decision that we're not going to name this classroom. We're not going to name this candlestick. We're not going to name this bathroom. Given by the Anderson family and to the glory of God.
Yeah, this totally given by the Ritzmans to the glory of God.
So what? As I was talking to the larger givers, I did say something like, "And with this gift, I will promise you, it will remain anonymous."
Nice. Just set the expectation.
Most people liked that.
Without naming too many names, you and I are checking out. We're going to other churches and just looking at some things. And I wonder if you remember there was that wall, that had I mean, it was the entire wall of raised letters. They spent a pretty penny to make sure that all those who
contributed
were named.
And I think it was everybody who gave $5 or more.
And the guy seemed to intimate that even some of the names on that list didn't actually give the names. They just pledged.
Yeah.
But you're right. It gets into this. What is the purpose? Who are you building? What are you building?
Yeah.
Is it for the kingdom of God? Are you using your talents for that? Or is it for yourself? And, back to the St. Olaf question here, was that truly an altruistic gift? Or was he had too much, and so now he needed to make his name pretty, and he was going to use the church?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know if it was assuage any kind of guilt, or as a facade saying, no, I'm really a good guy. Look at my name is on this new building to a Christian college.
So then this is the question, is he not using his shrewdness? How are we supposed to use our shrewdness?
Yeah.
Right? This is the digging deeper side of digging deeper.
It is.
Okay, so he's done digging holes to fill it with bodies, and now he's going to build kingdoms for God. Isn't he doing what Jesus said?
Oh man.
It's
a tough parable.
You said it was one of the tougher parables. Actually, I think you said it was the toughest parable. It is.
We got home from church, and my wife said to me, I don't think I understood it.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, hey, it's very simple. Jesus said, you know how to be shrewd and work the game to get ahead of this world. Use that same shrewdness to get ahead in the kingdom of God, to get what you want, heaven. And she said, why didn't you say that?
Oh, you did.
I said I did.
Almost word for word.
I said I did. I don't think I was listening at that point.
Well, in her defense, she had some very cute babies behind her.
Yeah, there were a lot of baptism there and cute babies and everything too. But I think that's the hard, because we don't want to use the word shrewd to describe the way that we get what we want of the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, I think
that's the wrong word, isn't it?
Shrewd is almost, it's not a negative, it's not a pejorative, but it almost always comes around as such.
Right. And so I think Jesus was using kind of a hyperbole here. The shrewd people of this world know how to get ahead and land on their feet. Use that same tenacity. Use that same perseverance. Use that same single-mindedness to get an even greater prize, and that is the heavenly reward. If we're looking for things that are worth working for, it's not like what you can get today and the tax benefit and the loophole, but it's ultimately, as Paul says, I press on for that heavenly prize. I don't want to suggest in any way that it's something that you manipulate and you get because you've worked hard for it.
Right.
We don't want to say that.
Oh.
But Jesus is saying that perseverance, that tenacity, that single focusedness.
Yeah.
As Paul said, press on. Press on. Going through beatings and imprisonments and torture, I press on for the greater goal.
That is absolutely it. We're willing to persevere through so much in this life for everything fleeting. How about we do the exact same thing for everything that's not fleeting, for the thing that's not fleeting, the eternal kingdom that really is eternal.
Yeah. Well, I'm really enjoying this sermon series called Tales from the Christ. And working on the different parables, because it's amazing to me how many angles, how it still speaks to us today, and just as alive and pertinent as it did when Jesus spoke.
I'm surprised at how difficult they are. I don't know why. Maybe because they're so prevalent, because the parables are everywhere and you can encapsulate them. I kind of thought, oh yeah, these are easy drinking, right? You can just, ingest it and it's fine.
Yep.
But no, this last Sunday showed us that there are lots of moving parts, and they don't always seem so obvious, so easy to understand.
Yeah. It's been a good series. And we'll continue it this coming week as Pastor Ryan's up to bat on a new parable.
Yeah, the persistent neighbor.
The persistent neighbor. We'll see you then.
See you then.